What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for the weekend. We have a ton of college football going on tomorrow. We actually have some NFL games tomorrow too, and then some NFL games on Sunday as well, but should be some great college football games. This is the first weekend of the playoffs. There's obviously a game tonight, Notre Dame and Indiana. Notre Dame absolutely dominated. So I'm going to get into the plays, the correlated pairs that I like. If you guys are new to the channel or don't know what this channel is about, I do a ton of correlated plays. So football is very correlated together. I'll talk about it as we get into the plays, but pretty much quarterbacks and receivers are very correlated together. So the better a quarterback does, the better that their receiver or their running back that catches the ball, whatever it is going to, they're either going to go over together or under together. And using this strategy over the past 6 months, we're up 400 units on the plays that I've sent out. You can see I do a lot of four-mans, and these are what the plays we're going to take tonight are. And you can see that I actually do lose more than I win, but that is because four-mans pay out 9x or 10x on PrizePicks, so you're getting a much higher payout for hitting these plays, but you're going to expect to obviously lose a little bit more than winning, actually a lot more than winning, because these are 9x entries, right? So again, this is the graph, right? Everything is tracked. Everything is very transparent on this channel. So if you guys like what I'm talking about today, definitely join my VIP. There's a couple ways to do it. First way to do it is to text me the word rebet to my number on the screen. I'll have you guys sign up for rebet and put 10 bucks into this app. It's a great app that you can take spreads, money lines, and stuff like that. You'll be able to take spreads and the money lines on all of these college football games, NFL games going forward. I'm in Texas and I use this app all the time, but if your state is in the orange, you can use this app. And then if your state is not in the orange, or maybe you already have rebet or something like that, then you can also use parlay play. Just text me the word parlay to my number on the screen, and I'll get you guys 2 free months of the VIP. So let's get into PrizePicks. I want to just kind of go into the PrizePicks, the PrizePicks website, and kind of type in what I'm liking and what I'm seeing here. So we have this Penn State and SMU game. Watching this Notre Dame Indiana game, I think even more Penn State's going to absolutely dominate this game. It's at home. It's going to be cold. SMU is not used to the cold, and we saw Notre Dame just absolutely dominate Indiana. I think Penn State's going to absolutely dominate SMU. I mean, SMU, they had a good run, but Penn State is the real deal title contending team, and SMU is, they're a good team. I'm glad they made it to the playoffs, but they're not going to get past this round, I don't think. So with that being said, I'm actually going to do something a little bit interesting here, and I'm going to take Drew Aller under pass attempts. And then I'm going to take my favorite play of the weekend, which is Kaytron Allen to go over 10.5 rush attempts, okay? And I'm going to pair it up with another two-man, you guys will see. But just talking about this two-man here, Penn State, again, I told you guys I think they're going to dominate this game. I think they're going to win this game pretty easily. That's going to cause them to throw the ball less and run the ball a lot more, right? If you guys know football, like, any game since the beginning of time, right? When a team is winning the game more, they are going to run the ball. They're going to run the clock out. When a team is losing the game, they're going to pass the ball a lot, right? So I just said Penn State should dominate this game early on. They should go up probably 14-0, I think, within the second quarter. And that is going to cause them to have to run the ball a lot more just in this game, take the win, and go on to the next stage in the playoffs here. Now, my favorite play is Kaytron Allen over 10.5 rush attempts. I think this is pretty similar to what I saw on J.K. Dobbins on the Chargers, it's Gus Edwards on the Chargers on Thursday night. This is a disrespectful line for Kaytron Allen. He actually gets more attempts than their other running back, who's kind of the star of the show, but he gets more attempts on the season than Nick Singleton, and he easily should get he easily should get over 10.5. He should get like 13 or 14 rush attempts, especially with them being able to run the ball a lot. You can see Nick Singleton's is at 13, but a lot of times Kaytron Allen actually gets more attempts. You can see here the past 5 games, 7, 7, 13, 13, 10. And if we go back to Allen, who's technically like the running back too, but this guy is more of the typical running back ground and pound type runner right here. So you can see 26, 7, 13, 14, right? So he gets a lot more, and his line is like 3 rush attempts lower, which is huge. So taking that, and then the second play to pair up with this, I'm going to take college football and then the NFL together. And then my other play is also college football and NFL together. Going through this one a little bit quicker, we're going to take Russell Wilson here. This is in tomorrow's game, so kind of random Steelers-Baltimore game that's going to happen, at 3:30 p.m. I don't know who's going to watch this or if they're going to watch the Texas-Clemson game, but we're going to take Russell Wilson, and then with the same sort of thing except opposite, okay? So I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be losing this game. They've looked a little bit rough without George Pickens, but I think they're going to have to pass still to stay in this game, okay? They're going to have to pass. Baltimore's obviously a great team. This should be a close game, and I think they're going to pass a lot to stay in this game. And I'm going to take their running back, Jaylen Warren, to go over 3.5 receiving targets, okay? You could also take him over 3 receptions. You can see here, he normally gets over this. The past couple of games, he hasn't. But I think more consistent is receiving targets, okay? So I think there's a good chance he gets 4 receiving targets. Same kind of thing here. Like, if he gets 4 receiving targets, he's probably going to get 3 receptions. But I think this is more consistent here because there's opportunities where they throw him a screen pass. Maybe he drops the ball. Maybe he gets batted down. That still counts as a target. So I like targets. You can see here it's counting for a 9x, which is really, really important there. If we were to do someone else on the Steelers, like another receiver or something, that would only give us an 8x, which would not be very good because getting a 9x versus 8x is a huge difference, okay? So first play, Drew Aller under pass attempts, Katron Allen over rush attempts, and then we got Russell Wilson over pass attempts, and then Jaylen Warren over receiving targets. So I kind of didn't explain the correlation here, but the more that Russell Wilson is throwing, so let's say he throws 35 times in this game, then it's likely that Warren's going to get maybe 4, 5, 6 of those targets. Now, opposite could happen, right? Russell Wilson maybe only throws 22 times or something like that. Then it'd be very unlikely that Jaylen Warren gets 4, 5, 6 targets, and it just gets a huge target share out of those, 22 targets, right? So locking that in as the first play. And let's go ahead and get into the next play then. So going back to college football again, I told you guys college football, and then we're going to go to NFL for this play as well. So scrolling down here, we do have the big game of the night. I'm going to say the big game of the day. We have OSU. We have Ohio State. I don't know why I called them OSU. Ohio State versus Tennessee, okay? Now, I think this has shootout potential written all over it, honestly. They're coming off of a bad game, Ohio State. I think Tennessee is honestly being slept on a little bit. I think they're a lot better. I think they have Ohio State as 7-point favorites right now. I don't think they're anywhere close 7-point favorites. I mean, they just lost to Michigan. Tennessee is much better than Michigan. They'd probably beat Michigan 9 out of 10 times. And Ohio State, this is a very even matchup to me. So I'm thinking this is similar to this Ohio State-Oregon game that happened around mid-October. And if you look at that game, both of the receivers on Ohio State absolutely went off. They got, I think, Jeremiah Smith got like over 100 yards, 109 yards on like 10 catches, I believe. And then Mbuga got around, I think, 85 yards on 9 catches, okay? So if you guys don't know anything about Ohio State, they have this tandem of receivers here. So you could kind of take either or. I'm going to go with Jeremiah Smith. I think he's more consistent, and I think he is the definitive wide receiver 1 on this group here. You're going to see a lot of scary numbers here. That's because Ohio State, whenever they're winning games, they do not throw the ball. They stop throwing completely. So like for this guy's line here, all of these games they won pretty easily, like versus Purdue, versus Northwestern, they won these games really easily. But when they're in games that they need to throw, they throw a lot, okay? So Ohio State's very dependent on how the game's going, right? And I just said I think this game's going to be a shootout. You can disagree with me if you want, but I really do think this game's going to be a shootout. Tennessee versus Ohio State. Maybe if it's not a shootout, I think it'll be like 24-24 or something, where it's like a really close game and they're gonna have to pass a lot. Now, talking about shootouts, this is another game that I think has shootout written all over it. We have the Dolphins versus the 49ers. Both of these teams are technically still fighting for the playoff spot. The Dolphins more so than the 49ers. They have more of a chance, but there's a lot of things going on. So Dolphins are fighting for playoff spot. 49ers are also fighting for playoff spot. Brock Purdy on the 49ers is fighting for his next contract, right? So he's fighting if he's going to stay on the team, how much money he demands, everything like that. 49ers, there's also a little bit of pride involved, to be honest with you. They haven't had too good of a year. There's a lot riding on the line for this game, I think, and they're both 6-8 teams. So if they can win out, then they can turn to that 6-8 season to 9-8, okay, if they won out their next 3 games, which pretty much turns a losing season into a winning season. So both of these teams need to win out, okay? So I'm going to take Tua over and then Devon Achane to go over 2. Devon Achane is just as good as a receiver. So if I scroll down and show you guys and I take a receiver like Tyreek Hill or something, there's a lot of receivers to get through, but if I took Tyreek Hill, you'd see I only got 8x here, but if I take Achane, you can see I get 9x. Okay, so even someone like Malik Washington, whose line is less than A-Chain, you'd still only get 8x. So gonna pair it with A-Chain here. He's one of the best receiving backs in all of the NFL. Like he gets like 5 or 6 receptions a game, so he's pretty much like a receiver in my eyes. So yeah, Will Howard, Jeremiah Smith, really great duo here. Probably the best freshman receiver there is. I guess you can argue Ryan Williams too. And then we got Tua, and then we got Devon A-Chain to go over together. So this is kind of the more fun slip. The other one was more of like, is one team, Penn State's going to dominate. Let's hope they run the ball. Sometimes you got to just put in the kind of nitty gritty slips, but this one is the fun slip, and this is still a great play because it's very correlated. So Will Howard, the more he throws, the more likely he's going to get it to Jeremiah Smith. Same thing with Tua. Tua's just been absolutely killing it as well. I think 4 out of his last 5 games, he's gotten over 300 yards. Yeah, look at this graph, you guys. He's just gotten like over 300 yards really easily in a lot of his games. So yeah, this is the second slip there. We had, just reusing it, we had Howard, Smith over, and then we had Tua and Devon A-Chain over. So very correlated. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Leave a comment if you're confused or anything like that. There's always people that are helpful in the comments. I can also respond to you guys, or you can text me. Again, my number is right here on the screen. Would love to respond to you guys, talk to you guys in there too, and get you guys into the VIP for free. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let's have a great weekend. We have a lot of games to get through, a lot of games to watch. So I'm really excited for that. Thank you guys again, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.